I absolutely love everything that I do, and I can't imagine not being able to have that in my life and move forward and make it a success. I get an idea in my head and I am running with it. There is no grass that grows under my feet. There are definitely challenges and hurdles that any business owner is going to face, and how you move through them is going to determine whether you're a success or not. I'm publisher Cathy Alessandra, and I do what I love. I am the CEO and founder of Alessandra Media Group, and we publish 2 magazines. What's Up for Kids, which we published for about 17 years, a family magazine for parents here in the South Bay area of Los Angeles, and Today's Innovative Woman, and we are celebrating our 2nd year anniversary for Today's Innovative Woman, and that serves women entrepreneurs globally. Do what I love means that I wake up every morning and can hardly wait to get to work. And many of my friends don't understand that about me. Oh, you're always working, you're always busy. But the fact is, I love what I do. Talking to clients on the phone, attending networking events, hosting my own events and connecting with all these women entrepreneurs, that's what makes me tick. Before kids, I did work in corporate, and I was actually in sales. But I was lucky enough when I had my first daughter, I was able to stay home and be a stay-at-home mom. And that lasted for a little while, a couple months, before the craziness, the insanity of not having that outside connection kind of started to strike. I became very involved in volunteer things. I was president of the Mothers Club and all those kinds of, because I had that desire to be doing something. I did start with some multi-level marketing companies, thinking that that would get me out of the house, that I could make a business that way. The problem with that, it wasn't something I had created. It wasn't something that was mine. I was selling somebody else's dream and not my own. And right after I had my second daughter, I was looking for things to do in the area with my then very, 1-year-old and 3-year-old, and so I didn't want to be traveling too far. And there were larger parenting publications, but nothing in the smaller area where we were living. And that's when I made the decision that we needed something, just a community newsletter that had things for our city and the local surrounding cities. And my first magazine or newsletter, What's Up for Kids, was born. I had no experience in publishing. I did not have a journalism degree. It was really just out of my own need and my own want of wanting to create something that was needed, but that I could have fun doing it. It was a newsletter format. It was just copied on colored paper. I printed 1,000 of them, and I actually sat in this very room collating the newsletters myself. And the kids would go to preschool, and I, between 10 and 2, I would make those sales calls. And Christopher was a newborn, and I would strap him to me, and I'd throw my daughters in the back of the car and drive around town and deliver them to the various locations. It opened up a lot of doors for me with the kids, being able to do things that we might not have ever been able to do otherwise, or had those opportunities, experiences. It took a few years for the business to really take off. Again, I was loving what I was doing, so it didn't feel necessarily like work, but to actually turn it into a real profitable, highly profitable business, it took years of work, it took mistakes, it took learning the ropes. And then a few years ago, I started to have that entrepreneurial, little feeling inside again, wanting to do something different. And I went on a bit of a journey for about 6 months to a year, trying to figure out what that next thing was going to be. Through that journey, discovered I really wanted to be serving women entrepreneurs. So Today's Innovative Woman was born. Same business model of what I was doing for What's Up for Kids. So here I'd had 15 years of experience publishing a print magazine, an online magazine, the weekly e-zine, the events. So I basically took that whole model and put it into serving women entrepreneurs. And loved it from the minute I started. Now, there have been their ups and downs. There's certainly been a lot of challenges. When I started the magazine, it was actually Today's Entrepreneur Woman. And I received a letter from another publication with the word entrepreneur in the title, saying that it was just too close. So I had to change names. It became Today's Womanpreneur. Well, that still wasn't good enough. And so Today's Innovative Woman is where we landed. It was a bit of a wall. It was a bit of a boulder to jump over, and not sure whether, am I going down the right path? Am I not? Is the universe telling me I shouldn't be doing this, or I should, or how badly do I really want it? But I was having so much fun doing it. It just seemed like the natural path. This is not something that I talk about lightly, and I can't believe that I'm actually going to say this on camera. I do not have a college degree. and have a hard time telling people that, because in this day and age, that is a big deal. Everybody asks where you went to college. Where'd you graduate from, right? A lot of people have masters, and I am certainly encouraging my kids to go to college, but I do not have it, and have been hesitant to say that. Well, at our Dallas event recently, from the stage, I commented how, because of my drive, because of who I am, what I wanted to create, who I wanted to serve, how I wanted to inspire others, that I had created this business. And I didn't necessarily need a college degree to be able to do that. Well, I got a email from a young lady who was in attendance about how that had made everything for her in that event. She was not going to college. It was not her thing. And she felt that if I had done it, that she could do it. But getting that email from her, that my story that I've been so afraid to share made such an impact on her, that's what inspires me, is that I can help support other women in doing what it is that they want to do. What advice do I have for people who do what they love to do? Part of it is you need to do it. You need to step out, and there's so much fear in how you're going to do it and what it's going to be, and is it going to be perfect, and I don't want to do it until it's right, and do I leave my job, do I not leave my job? Well, I'm here to tell you, you just kind of need to make the decision. Whatever it is that you're most passionate about, there is some way to monetize that. And the first time you figure out what that is, it may not be the final way to do that. You may need tweaking, you may need to change. You may not be able to quit your day job doing it yet either. You may need to keep that so you can fund what you're doing. But don't wait for tomorrow, don't wait for next year, don't wait till the moment is perfect or right. You need to just kind of step into it and step through that fear and figure out the best way for you to do that. I was reminded of this with my daughter. My daughter really wants to be in theater, and actually is majoring in theater in college. And my husband and I were like, well, can you really make a living doing that? And is that the best fit for you? And oh, you're so brilliant. You've got a mind of math and science, and become an engineer, a scientist. And one of my girlfriends looked at me as I was telling her this story, and she said, Cathy, you preach doing what you're passionate about. How can you tell your daughter not to? And that was a wake-up call moment for me. You're right. Because whatever it is that she's most passionate about, she's gonna find a way. She is driven enough that whatever it is that she gets into, she's gonna make it work. She's willing to sacrifice. She's willing to do what it takes. And you do have to have some of that, with whatever it is that you're doing. Even if it's something you absolutely love, it doesn't mean that it's gonna make you $1 million overnight. It's gonna take work, it's gonna take dedication, it's gonna take time, but it's gonna be more fun to do it. And in the long run, you're gonna have more fulfillment, more joy out of life, and potentially more success. I really wanted to share my stories with others to hopefully inspire them to take action, to do whatever it is that they love. Whether they have a college degree or not, whether they're an expert in that area or not, whether they're not sure whether it's the perfect thing for them or not, they need to take that step forward. And I truly hope that by me sharing my story, that might help somebody, inspire them to take that step, to be able to do that thing that really jazzes them, that excites them, that just makes them want to get up in the morning and do whatever it is that they want to do, that they're so passionate about, like I do. And I have big desires, big dreams, big goals, and I want others who have those same, hidden inside things that they don't necessarily share with anybody else, to maybe make that shift and go ahead and make that next step and really follow their dreams, so that at the end you can really look back and be excited about what you did, maybe have a legacy to leave, and really be able to have inspired something somewhere and made a difference.